Welcome to StarWatch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Breaking news from StarWatch Now, a story that's capturing hearts across Asia and beyond. Newly surfaced CCTV footage said to feature the beloved Chinese actor Menglong has reignited public conversation about his life, legacy, and the mysterious moments leading up to his passing. But today's report isn't about fear. It's about truth, compassion, and remembrance. Stay with us. Before the headlines and online storms, Menglong's story began quietly, far from the glare of television lights. Born with an artist's soul, he carried himself with a calm that often felt out of place in a world obsessed with speed and spectacle. Colleagues remember how he would linger after rehearsals, helping younger crew members or listening patiently to fans who had traveled long hours just to see him. Fame never hardened him. When the cameras stopped rolling, he wrote thank you notes in his own careful handwriting, signing each one with the same phrase, "Be gentle, even when life is not." Those who worked closest to him often said that Menglong's greatest performance was not on screen but in the way he treated people. He was known to stop interviews halfway to ask the journalist how they were coping with their deadlines, or to buy lunch for the assistant who had skipped a meal. Success never turned him into a brand. It made him more human. His humility became his quiet rebellion against the harsh competitiveness of the industry. As his career rose, the distance between the public image and the private man widened. The face that millions adored hid a constant striving for meaning, an artist questioning whether applause could ever replace authenticity. In quiet hotel rooms, he wrote songs he never released, small fragments about loneliness and gratitude. Friends recall that he often spoke about wanting to leave something real behind, something that would outlast gossip and fame. The rediscovered CCTV footage, viewed through this lens, feels less like a clue to a mystery and more like a final portrait of who he truly was. A man still refining his art, still believing that sincerity could endure the noise of the world. Captures not scandal but stillness, not fear but dedication. Watching it, one senses the weight of a life lived with purpose, the quiet courage of someone who refused to become cynical. Menglong's rise was never about power or prestige. It was about holding on to kindness in a world that too easily forgets it. When the footage began to circulate, the internet reacted with the force of a storm. What was once a quiet memory of an actor beloved for his calmness became a spectacle of speculation. People watched the same few seconds of video again and again, searching for clues, convinced that hidden within each flicker of light was a secret the world was not meant to see. For some, it was evidence of something sinister. For others, it was simply a moment taken out of context. But beyond the arguments, what truly spread was emotion, the raw, collective ache of millions trying to make sense of loss. In chat rooms, on live streams, and across countless platforms, discussions turned into debates and debates into movements. The footage seemed to awaken a deeper frustration with the machinery of fame itself. Many felt that Menglong's death symbolized more than a tragedy. It exposed the relentless hunger of a system that demands beauty and perfection but offers little protection to the humans behind it. People questioned why voices of compassion are often silenced first, and why truth, in the world of entertainment, always seems buried beneath layers of control. Yet amid the noise, something remarkable began to emerge. Fans from China to Europe began creating spaces not to accuse, but to remember. They painted murals, wrote letters, and translated his interviews into multiple languages, so his words of kindness could travel farther than gossip ever could. The phrase "for long, with love" filled social media like a digital vigil, a quiet rebellion against the culture of cynicism. In their grief, fans found unity. In confusion, they rediscovered empathy. The mystery of the footage remains unsolved, but perhaps that is no longer the point. It served as a mirror, reflecting not just a man's final moments, but our own hunger for truth and tenderness in a world that thrives on spectacle. The reaction it sparked revealed how deeply people yearn to believe that goodness can still survive exposure, that humanity can outshine the noise. What began as controversy slowly transformed into connection. turning pain into purpose and grief into a reminder of how one life, honestly lived, can move an entire world. As time passed, the conversation around Yu Menglong's story began to change. What started as a hunt for proof slowly evolved into a search for meaning. Investigators and journalists spoke cautiously about the footage, but the real shift came from the public themselves. People began asking not only what had happened, but why it resonated so deeply. Beneath the headlines, there was a quiet awakening, a collective realization that this was not just about one man's fate, but about the unseen struggles faced by countless others who live beneath the pressure of perfection. Mental health professionals and filmmakers began to speak out, urging the industry to reevaluate its culture of silence and exhaustion. They reminded audiences that behind every flawless performance is a human being who bleeds, doubts, and sometimes breaks. Studios started small programs for wellness, mentoring young artists on how to survive the glare of fame without losing their humanity. It was as if Yu Menglong's story had become a mirror, forcing people to confront the cost of beauty, ambition, and public adoration. Across continents, his fans carried this reflection forward. In Seoul, Tokyo, Bangkok, and Paris, communities organized charity screenings and art exhibitions under his name. They donated proceeds to creative youth funds and emotional support hotlines, believing that the best way to honor him was to turn pain into compassion. In online forums, strangers comforted one another, sharing stories of how his kindness, once seen only in brief interviews or behind-the-scenes moments, had inspired them to be softer, to forgive more easily, to listen before judging. Gradually, the narrative transformed from one of tragedy into one of renewal. The rediscovered footage no longer symbolized loss, but legacy. It became a catalyst for change, a reminder that transparency and empathy must coexist if any industry or any society is to grow. Yu Menglong's name, once whispered with sorrow, began to stand for resilience and light. And perhaps that is the greatest revelation of all, that from silence can rise understanding, and from grief, a determination to build a gentler world. His story, reframed through this new perspective, became not a mystery to solve, but a message to carry forward, an invitation to choose humanity over spectacle, truth over noise, and compassion over indifference. Perhaps the true story isn't hidden inside a USB or secret file. Perhaps it lives in the lessons he left, that kindness can survive cruelty, and honesty can outshine rumor. The CCTV recording, whether authentic or symbolic, has become a mirror reflecting how we, as viewers, respond to tragedy. With compassion instead of gossip, with purpose instead of pity. Yu Menglong's journey reminds us that fame is temporary, but sincerity is timeless. Every time someone chooses to create, to forgive, or to speak gently online, a small part of his spirit lives on. If this story moved you, let's honor Yu Menglong not through controversy, but through kindness. Share this video with a friend who needs hope today, and keep spreading light where darkness once lingered. Thank you for watching StarWatch Now, your channel for real stories, respectful voices, and global connection. Hit subscribe, tap the bell icon, and join us as we continue exploring the lives and lessons of the stars who inspire the world.